And they don't trouble the locals?
I see you finally decided to relax. Have I ever told you I think you lead a very unhealthy life?
You've mentioned it.
Evidently not enough for you to take it to heart. Anyway, the whores are quite decent here.
Maybe some other time.
You worry me.
My memories and feelings seem inextricably linked. I seem to be recovering both. I believe Yennefer's alive, and I'll eventually find her.
Triss, Yennefer, that's some life you lead, my friend.
First off, we have no idea if Yennefer's still alive. Second, we have no idea if Triss is alive.
True. You seem to have two women when in fact, you don't even have one.
Their kind doesn't die easily. I'll find Triss as soon as I've dealt with the assassin.
What about Yennefer?
I won't know what to do about her until I see her. Henselt's camp is abuzz with rumors about the events 3 years ago.
When you burn a sorceress at the stake, rumors spread faster than the seed of a lascivious baron.
I know you primarily value sorceresses for their firm busts, but I'm curious. What do you think of Sabrina Glevissig?
Sorceresses complain about feeling underappreciated, persecuted even. But let me tell you, Geralt, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. If they didn't meddle, they wouldn't be burned at the stake. They keep whining about the horrors that took place on Thanet Island, about the order of the world being destroyed. But let me ask you, who brought that about if not them and their scheming?
Heard anything about Letho?
They say he's hiding in the ravines. He's not alone.
I know.
I fail to comprehend exactly why you have it in for him. He escaped, so what? You're no king, and as such are hardly in danger.
Letho is responsible for 2 regicides. I want to know why he did it. Or rather, for whom.
Is that so important?
Witchers don't step into political quicksand for no reason. I don't like the principles that govern the world, but so far nobody's come up with anything better. Murdering kings solves nothing, quite the contrary.
Let's say you catch him. What then?
First we'll have a talk, then he'll pay for his crime.
Punishments vary.
But there's only one punishment for murder. Have you tried to, approach Vess?
I've thought about it. On the one hand, I've never rogered a soldier, but on the other, the cling clang of steel against steel at an intimate moment could put off even the most attentive lover. Why do you ask?
I just like to know. I wonder what Sheila's doing in Henselt's camp.
You're not alone, because she's wondering what you're doing at the king's side.
How do you know?
She asked me about you.
What did she want to know?
I have no idea. I realized right off she was sniffing, and told her she could smell my fingers if she wanted. But that'd be all she'd get.
And she gave up.
Mm-hmm. See how careful I am?
Well, well, a witcher. Girls, trim yourselves. How can I help you, handsome?
I wanted to talk.
We're no strangers to the art of conversation, but it'll cost you just as much as a good plough.
Sounds all right.
Ask away, then. What would you like to talk about?
I wouldn't mind knowing what you think of Henselt.
I'm a madam. What can I know about the king?
I seem to remember that madams and innkeepers know everything.
He used to come here to plough, to develop a camaraderie with the fighting men like, but that was just a phase. Most likely only ploughs sweet-smelling ladies now.
Here to spy on us.
Who would I be spying for?
For Henselt. The Death Mold. I heard they hired you.
It just so happens we have common aims. But don't worry, observing Vernon Roach isn't one of them.
In that case, to what do I owe this pleasure?
What news of good old Flotsam?
Thanks to us, it still is good old Temerian Flotsam. If I hadn't sniffed out Laredo's treachery, a Kedwenny garrison would be stationed there already. Constable John Natalis has appointed a new commandant to Flotsam, Let's hope he doesn't turn out to be another whore.
You miss your old friend, Yorvith?
If the gods are kind, he'll yet fall into my hands. That said, I wonder what the scoundrel's up to.
Any idea what's happening on the other side of the Battle of Spectres?
I expect not much has changed. A bunch of dwarves, elves, and peasants are trying to figure out how to save Eddard.
Saskia's an exceptional woman.
But just a woman, nonetheless. Besides, how would you know?
Just a hunch, and there's all the talk. Besides, to assemble an army of elves, dwarves, and humans who fight side by side, you pretty much have to be extraordinary.
You'll not persuade me some woman will defeat Henselt in battle.
You're forgetting one thing. Kedwen's just fighting for a better life. Eddern's fighting for life itself.
Motivation's important, I grant you. But it can't trump knowledge of the art of war. Temeria's my only concern. And I'll be glad to see Henselt's forces tied up here. That's a good thing.
Think he wouldn't stop after conquering Eddern? What if he quickly deals with Saskia and turns his army west?
It's possible, but I hope it won't come to that.
You need to be careful. Deathmold can't learn that you're holding a Kedweni spy.
He won't. Don't you worry none.
Deathmold has an excellent net of his own spies.
That spy we caught at Laredo's, Arnold. He's prancing around in the next world.
Did he spill anything interesting?
He was tough, but waterboarding can be incredibly effective. Eventually, he coughed up that Henselt was trying to bring the border towns to a boil.
Henselt's not stupid. He wouldn't want to wage war on two fronts.
That rat Laredo was supposed to stir unrest in Flotsam. Luckily, you rearranged his intestines with your blade.
I was wondering what you're actually doing here, Vernon.
The Blue Stripes never want for work, especially in a hotbed like this.
You're not about to tell me, are you? And here I thought we had something special.
I've got my finger on the pulse, and I've not forgotten what I came here for, Geralt.
Foltest's assassin.
Precisely. He's holed up like a rat, and he'll meet a rat's end.
Salutations!
Greetings, Geralt.
Greetings, Vess. What news from the Blue Stripes?
They're keeping their eyes open, as always.
Could Henselt himself be behind the assassinations?
You don't think it's possible? Consider the Pontar Valley. Temeria, Kedwen, and Eddern have been disputing it for generations. Only now, Temeria and Eddern are kingless.
True. Henselt might profit from the deaths of Foltest and Demavend, but covert assassinations aren't his style.
I suppose you're right. The Kedweni king seems to love a good war. Just take a look around. Perhaps that's his ruse. When the cheese goes missing from the larder, no one thinks of blaming the cat.
We've lost the assassin's trail.
The trail led us here. If it goes no further, the assassins must be in the vicinity. I see two possibilities. Either Henselt hired them, or he's their next target.
We'll find out soon enough. Henselt thinks he'll take Vergen easily.
A regular army will always win against a popular uprising. I know this, Henselt knows it. I don't understand why Saskia doesn't.
Maybe she'd rather die than surrender. Or she has a surprise in store for Henselt.
Possibly. Henselt keeps the precise plans of his campaign a secret.
Why haven't you set up in the Kedweni camp? Information becomes more available the closer you get to the source.
Henselt doesn't trust us, and I don't blame him. If not for this damn fog, we'd have moved even further south.